Welcome back to INKISH TV in Over the Skype. Today is Tuesday, the first day after Easter, and in a lot of European countries there's still a lockdown, so it's like a lockdown period here in Denmark, where I'm located in my living room right now, and my kids are in school in their rooms. And I have the pleasure of today to welcoming Franz Repp, who is working for Scodix out of Switzerland. So welcome to my show, Franz.
Thank you very much, Martin.
And you're sitting in your car, and it seems that it's good sunshine where you are.
Yes, I'm just arrived in Austria after also lockdown living in Switzerland, and I decided to come a little bit more back to normal life, starting working again, leaving Switzerland, going to customers in Austria and to Germany. As you know, I'm in charge for sales in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, but the main business is in Germany. In Germany, yes.
And you know, one of the reasons why I'm so happy to talk to you, you're one of the sales reps that actually make my life busy too, right? Because the first time we met each other was a year ago or something like that, where we was talking. We met at Ninodruk and at Schetzel Print in Motion. And every time I go into some of the printing companies that have invested in the Scodix equipment, they always smile. Yeah. Why is that?
Because of Scodix.
Yeah, but I was
because of Scodix. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know. Let me tell you the following. I am in the business, in the graphic arts industry, in the printing industry, more or less now since 30 years, and 27 years in sales. And I can tell you that if I'm looking back and looking to the present, and probably also to the future, it was always like the commercial printing was always there, changing the technology from this to that at the end of the day. But if you ask customers, commercial printing companies, how is your business, then they either were full of work or they did not have anything or something in between. But if you ask them, how is the profitability, they always said between 1% to 3%.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And you asked why Scodix customers are laughing or smiling is because that's what we always say. We try to bring them back with the differentiation of digital enhancement back to profitability.
And
that is exactly smiling.
Yeah, and if you look at Scodix, since I remember actually I saw the Scodix equipment for the very first time. That was at it was actually a trade show in India, and you know, in India they really like the glimmer and the varnishes and things like that. So when I saw that for the first time, I was like, "What the?" Can't say that. What is this? Because this was really great equipment and took enhancement from being analog to digital in a way that is, I mean, that's even 7 years ago, so it's even better now. So what is, why, I mean, because when you go and talk to printing companies, what is your KPIs when you sell these fantastic machines that you're selling?
You know, if I'm coming to somebody calling us, I call for a discussion about Scodix and digital enhancement. The process is always the same. I present the samples, I present the technical details, the technical features of the Scodix, and everybody says, "Wow." Everybody is excited. Everybody loves Scodix, right? What we are doing technically and the result, what comes out of the Scodix. At the end of the day, if they ask you how much is it, how much is the investment, we are not a low-cost product. We have a highly industrialized product, high quality, highest quality, best in class product, best in class service. We are not cheap, definitely not in terms of the investment. But if I would tell them then immediately the number, they would say, "Okay, thank you for coming. When you have finished your cup of coffee, thank you very much. Goodbye." Right?
So I know because when I met you in Germany that last year, you actually I don't know if you took me for being a potential buyer. I wish I was, but I think you kind of wanted to present the way that you presented to customers, because I think you took like about the value creation of sheets, how much more the jobs are worth to the printer when you add Scodix to the equation, right?
You know, that is all. Again, when I present Scodix, the results, technology, everybody's smiling. When I present them, not the number of the investment, but tell them, and that is proven, that is reality, at this moment at more than 300 installations worldwide. In Europe, approximately 150 installations with Scodix, and in Germany we are now approximately at 20 installations, right? Commercial printing companies, digital, analog, a mixture of both. If I'm presenting them how much they need to produce per day, how much for the Scodix they need to be profitable, highly profitable, and I'm not talking about 1, 2, or 3 shifts. I'm talking about 1 to 2 hours. And then I give them the cost, how much it will cost them for producing 1 hour, 2 hours a day, multiplied by 20 days, compared to the revenue of the 1 to 2 hours work per day or per month for 20 days. The number is very clear. You are highly profitable. And that is what everybody is looking for. Not only a nice product, a good product, a sexy product.
You need to make
They're
money.
looking for profitability.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody would invest, if you talk about 50,000 euro or 100,000 euro, nobody would invest, more likely not these days, any amount of money if there is not profitability behind.
Precisely, yeah. One of the things that I'm has been wondering about from time to time is that, you know, as being in Europe, you know that there's a huge differences from north, east, south, west in pricing, both for the print and for the labor work and things like that. And one of the things that I was wondering about when you sell Scodix machines is your competition the conventional enhancements like foils and embossing, or what are you competing against?
I mean, we have competition theoretically. I can tell you more than that. That honestly, there is competition in place, but I don't see that competition in my area in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. I don't see that competition. To compare with the analog, no, that's not the way it works. There's parts and pros for both, for the digital and for the analog technology, right? How does it work from the commercial side? If you print digital with an Indigo, with a Fuji, with whatever, Xerox, and then do you make the analog enhancement with the cost of tools, of cliches, of setup times which are much higher than with digital enhancement, that does not fit together.
So what you say is that basically that when we talk about the analog versus digital, it's more about still like the volume, because I actually thought that when I look at the Scodix machines and I see them in action, it's also like you have, I know it's a little abused kind of word, but mass customization, where you are able to produce a lot of shifts on a short time. So you're maybe mostly driven by the fact that the customers is demanding shorter print runs and things like that. Because the reason why I was asking was because I think that you also want to be in packaging, and packaging often is maybe a little bit higher print runs, right?
Definitely. You know, I give you following answer. Best it works, not technically, but from the financial point of view, it works with digital printing. Small runs, digital printed, with digital enhancement of Scodix. Perfect fit. But we also have customers who are printing in offset, not only digital, but also in offset, run lengths of jobs of 3, 4, 5,000 sheets.
And
it's a question. It still fits. It still fits, right? This calculation needs to be done. Let's say it needs to be done case by case, job by job.
Yeah, because I mean, Because I guess it depends a lot on the applications, and also because I think that some of the advantages you have with a Scodix machine is that you have multiple technologies and multiple kinds of enhancement in one machine, so you are capable of doing things that is not possible to do in analog either.
Absolutely. We have customers who are printing in offset and do the digital enhancement with Scodix, not only because of the glittering stuff, the good stuff, but also for doing the customization and the personalization. So they combine analog printing with digital printing, with digital enhancement to do instead of doing that with a digital printing press, the personalization with Scodix, with foil, for example, works.
And so that basically means that, I don't know if it's the case, but I would have thought that when you started years ago, the nearest market to capture was the digital market, but with the capabilities and the speed of the Scodix machines today, the market has opened way bigger. So now it's both analog, it's packaging, it's commercial, it's basically, you basically have 8,000 potential customers in Germany, I take, right?
Yes, potential customers, prospects, waiting for Scodix, waiting for us to get them smile.
Yeah. So I think that it's good that you started your BMW so you can get working, because you're busy, right?
We're busy. Yeah. We're absolutely busy. We're absolutely busy. Yeah. There's a huge potential, definitely. Yeah. Yes.
And now the Drupa exhibition was postponed because of the coronavirus. Beside having a lockdown, as we just spoke about before we started recording, is that something that have impacted Scodix in the sense that I believe that you normally on these trade shows have pretty big stalls, and I guess that were you about to showcase some new technology, or how was that about that?
We wanted to show something new, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. We wanted to, but we didn't want to show a new platform, let's say a new machine, which is now absolutely different from that what we have. You know that we have our let's say main product, our main machine is the Ultra. Yeah. The 101, the 202. At the end of the day, anything what we expected to see in June in Drupa was not nothing different, new technology. No, everything what we wanted to show is based on the Ultra technology.
And are you able to bring some of these things to market before, or will you postpone that also to the next Drupa then?
Honestly, as far as I know, we did not take a decision yet when we will present these new things to our prospects, to the customers, to the market.
Okay.
What we also wanted to show in Drupa is new application for the existing product Ultra. Yeah. Means also for the existing customers who are always looking around for something huge they can sell to their customers, something special, something even more sexy that we already have.
Yeah, and that is one of the things I really like about Scodix also when you go to trade shows, because you have a large emphasis on the applications you show. So, I mean, you show really, really beautiful print samples. And as you may know, here on our Print Sample TV on INKISH, we have also showcased a lot of great examples of Scodix technology. I was just thinking, Franz, being on the road and talking to customers, one thing is that they clearly understand the value that you present in the profitability of enhancement. But is it also, it's not a leading question, but is it from your perspective difficult to get these machines financed at this time, or how is it, if you want to buy a machine, how difficult is it to actually get it?
You know, all our customers in Germany, I would say more or less all of them, did financing with financing bank. We are working very close with, I'm personally working very close with one financing bank in Germany. So when I'm going to a customer, I present him the quote, and I'm also in presenting him the financing quote of the leasing bank.
Okay,
so you can know how much it cost him per month. Yeah, which is the number which is interesting, the only interesting number in terms of costs, if we compare that to the revenue per month. Yeah. You asked whether that is complicated or not. I mean, you said there's thousands of potential customers in Germany. How many may be able to get the financing?
That's a big question, of course, to answer. But yeah,
who knows?
Yeah,
Nobody knows. I can tell you, we always find a solution. We always try to find a solution also for financing. So Scodix always offers a full solution package.
But I was also thinking that I guess that being the vendor of exclusivity, I don't think that you want to sell to every printer, right? I mean, of course, you would like to get the business, but from a perspective that your customers can differentiate with their product offerings, also means that the pricing has an exclusive level. I made an interview with virtual packaging in Dallas last autumn, and the owner Mr. Bennett, he said to me that one of the things that is quite interesting is with the digital mass customized products, we can sometimes even have products that are cheaper to produce than the analog versions, but we can sell them more expensive because we are exclusive in the market, and they have that advantage. I take it's exactly the same for Scodix, right?
Yes, that is generally right. On the other hand, I mean, if I'm going to a customer, to a prospect, that can be either a commercial printing company, that can be a finisher, that can be so working in B2B, right? We also have B2C customers, online printing shops selling their products, printing products to the customers, to the consumers. At the end of the day, who is interested, one of these, let's say, three different kinds of printing companies, who's interested to differentiate their products from their competition, or to make their products more sexy, that their customers are more interested to purchase these kinds of products. We are interested in anybody to talk to, and to explain them how it may work, whether it may work.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
I do understand that. I mean, I have never met anybody in sales who don't want to make the sales, right?
I never said no.
No.
I never said no.
That's great. Franz, it's been a pleasure to talk to you here on INKISH over the Skype. I have more on a personal note, because we have connected on Facebook. And one of the things I really, really like about your Facebook is that you have a passion for food and really great nature spots also. Are you planning to have a restaurant somewhere in Switzerland at some point?
Maybe when I'm going to retirement, maybe any day. But the question is when. I'm not planning to do that in 2, 3, 4, 5, or 10 years. I'm so happy with Scodix, honestly, and I'm not joking.
No, I was not thinking of it as a replacement. It was more like a kind of. I really think that you're a good photographer, and I think that the food that you present looks awesome. So I want to have a bite. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I like good food. Yes, I like enjoying life, and I mean, these days, during the Corona crisis, we all have to stay mostly at home. Yeah. So what remains?
Yeah, food, good wine,
to nice people, and good wine, and good whatever. At the end of the day, that is what brings us together again.
That's true. Thank you very much.
Pleasure to talk to you, man.